Morning, folks. How are we doing? So we're back at it again with an Amberlynn read one. I was actually thinking about something, and I'm going to quickly give you my speculation on this. This came out like an hour ago. Like, I literally just got home from work, and I sat down and looked, and it came out an hour ago. And then I started thinking, it's like, it's kind of weird that she's kind of moved her timings to be like a more European time. And then I was like, oh, is she specifically doing this to try and cater to that new French-Belgium audience that she recently got because of that documentary? Because for me, there seems to be no other reason why for her she'd be uploading, I don't know, like for this video in particular, probably around about 11, 10 a.m. That seems like a weird, because for me in particular, that's the quietest time. That's the time when I get the least views. Maybe her age demographic could be totally different. She could have more people who stay at home to work or whatever. So maybe, but I just looked at it immediately and thought, okay, she's trying to target a European demographic because it came out kind of like perfect time for like someone like me to come home from work, and I walk in and it's there waiting for me. So called lab results, weight loss surgery update, and am I a spoiled brat vlog. So I had mentioned in my last video that the weight loss surgery is pretty much dead and gone because like there hadn't even been a mention of it last time. So I guess she's learned from that and is coming back to try and milk it a wee bit further.
Hey guys,
hello,
welcome to a new video. So I finished the
Stillwater thank God.
Gorls.
I think I don't need to explain to you. We're probably not gonna include this.
And I was right. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I feel like some people are bored with my book talk, so I'm not gonna explain it too hard. But
oh God, how did you know? How did you know? I'm sorry, like the lack of self-awareness, though, that it's like people aren't like bored with your book talk. It's just you're bad at talking about books. But like she's actually argued that point before, because people often tell her you are bad at describing books, you're bad at reviewing books, and she always comes out with, it's like, well, actually, guys, it's because I don't actually want to talk about it too much, because I don't really want to talk about. Yeah, I just don't want to talk about him too much. And it's like that. So you're a bad book reviewer. You can just be honest and say you're a bad book reviewer. That review was like I don't know. It's like 40 seconds long, and about 20 seconds of it was her saying what her score was. And I was like, well, it was like a 4.5, but it was like actually more like 4.75. But the thing is, they don't allow half marks, so I had to put it up to 5. And she's like, I don't care. Really, I don't care. And also, there's twists. That's the usual thing.
I officially have started It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, and I am on page 59. I love it. I'm curious of how people are getting the idea that it's being romanticized, because I don't think that just because there's a book about it means that it's romanticized. It doesn't make sense, because there's books about murders and unaliving and oneself. I don't YouTube.
What?
It'd be acting weird, and I don't want to be saying the wrong things, but there's books about everything, and that doesn't mean it's being romanticized. So I'm definitely curious, like, why so many people think that about this book. But like,
pretty much, I'm going to sum up most of the review here. Most of the review pretty much is that there is bad stuff that happens in it. It has domestic abuse in it, and apparently it's controversial because people think that it's romanticizing like domestic abuse and stuff like that. She, of course, also has to make a big point about how she has dealt with domestic abuse, not only from her parents, but also from a relationship in the past. And I'm assuming she's referring to the trans man, Kaz. I can't remember his name. I'm assuming she's still trying to go for that, even though it's been like kind of thoroughly shit all over. I don't know. It seems so silly that she doesn't understand what people are saying when say something's like romanticized, because like she's like, but there are books about murders and that's not romanticizing murder. And it's like that's not what it is. It's like a lot of people argue like 50 Shades of Grey or something like that, like romanticized like quite a toxic relationship because they made it seem like a good thing, even though it was not a good thing. That's what romanticizing something is. It's like if they do like domestic abuse and domestic violence and stuff in this book, but they make it seem like nice, or that he actually does really love her anyway. That's what people talk about with like domestic abuse being romanticized. I don't think she wouldn't know that. It seems like that's pretty easy to guess.
I did get a phone call from the weight loss clinic, so I have a little update.
Oh,
on that.
Yay.
They got my lab results finally, and they tested like a bunch of different things, and everything came back fine.
Those lab results went away ages ago, and wasn't it not from the weight loss clinic? Wasn't it like her doctors who did it? Because didn't she say she had to then take the lab results to the weight loss clinic? And that was like 2 weeks ago, wasn't it now? Am I crazy? Didn't she say that like, she had done the lab checks with her doctors, and then, like, because, like, everyone made fun of her, because it was, like, when she was saying, like, guys, look at all the stuff I've done, and one of them is literally, like, get the doctors to send the lab results to the weight loss clinic. So, like, the weight loss clinic wasn't the one doing the labs, so why are they giving it to you? Surely the doctor gave it to you when you were in discussing it, for you to then ask them to send to... I don't know. Everyone knows I don't believe any of this. I feel like she maybe, like, slipped up there, or maybe I'm just reading too much into that one.
Besides, my vitamin D is very low. So they're prescribing me like a very high dosage of vitamin D for me to take once a week, prescribed. So I'm actually going to go get that from the pharmacy.
Prescribed? Why did you have to specify it's prescribed? What? I don't... Like, we weren't thinking, like, oh, Amber's buying some shady under-the-counter, she's got a vitamin D, she's going to a dark alley at night and slipping someone a 50 and they're giving her a high dose of vitamin D, which sounds kind of wrong. Why specify it like that? Also, you're already on a multivitamin, that should help already.
See? So I'm just very relieved to hear that, like, your girl, the results came back pretty well, because I knew that my vitamin D was low, like, it's been low.
I knew my vitamin D. I just sensed it, guys. I was just sitting there and being like, I don't have much D. I just knew. I just knew. Maybe go out more. Isn't, like, vitamin D the one you get from being out in the sun? Maybe if you left your house a couple times, you wouldn't have this issue.
It's been very low for years now. So, yeah, I just know I'm going to feel a lot better taking this really high dosage vitamin D, because I...
What? Yeah, guys, I've known for years that my vitamin D has been super low. And finally, guys, I'm going to feel better. It's like, you do know you could have just got vitamin D any time across those years. Like, vitamin D doesn't need to be prescribed to you. You're aware? Are you aware of that? I don't actually know if you're aware of that.
I've taken one in the past, and it helps a lot. So another update I have...
Then why didn't you keep taking it? Oh, guys, I took one in the past, and it totally helped me. It's like, yeah... And then you just decided to stop taking it? Like, why wouldn't you just keep taking it?
You guys know how, like, I said that I found out that I have to go a whole year without binging, and, like...
Yes, that fairy tale.
A little breakdown moment. Like, I cried in front of my dietitian. It was...
But not in front of us. So it's also like you didn't care at all. Oh, God, I can't wait to see where this fairy tale goes.
Embarrassing, but, I just felt very overwhelmed. I didn't, like, take advantage at the time and, like, ask more questions about why this is, or just, like, understand the situation.
Even though you're a king advocator.
So I have an option of emailing her. So I took advantage of that option, and I kindly just wanted to, like, understand things a little bit more. So,
guys, I have the option of emailing her, and I took that option, guys. You really make that sound like you I don't know, you went to war with Troy or something like that. It's like, this is quite a small, easy thing to do. This already screams nonsense. It feels like she took a couple days to try and think of a convincing lie for all of this nonsense. I can't wait, honestly. I can't wait. Like, it's bad that I hated the weight loss surgery arc so much, but the end of it was so funnily bad that I kind of got into just that bit, just her excuses for it. The rest of it is dull and boring, her trying to clickbait weight loss surgery and all that absolute fucking shit. This could be funny.
We've actually been emailing back and forth for a couple of days.
Wow.
And she has explained things a little bit better for me. That, like, there is someone, like, above her, a psychologist above her, who actually reads, like, all her notes on her patients, and...
Oh my God, she's so bad! Yeah, see, the thing is, guys, I spoke to the psychologist, and the psychologist approved me, and then I spoke to a dietitian, and the dietitian turned me down. Oh, well, what I mean is that there's another... Yes, like, there's a super psychologist... who only oversees the dietitian, and what are you talking about? You already said you were cleared by a psychologist. Like, so God, you're so bad. Why are you so bad at this?
They help decide, like, the further plan for her patients.
So
and the
funny.
Psychologist thinks that this is what's best for me. And so does the dietitian. But she also wants...
You already got approved.
Opinion. Because...
Yeah, it's almost like the surgeon is the one who has the final decision. Oh, God, it's like she's trying to mix everyone's stories together. Like, she came out with that nonsense take. The absolute nonsense take. That is like, oh, I have to do a full year of absolutely no binges, which is just not a thing. I will die on this hill because everyone else has already showed the evidence. It's not a thing. It just isn't the thing. So she's then gone and taken, like, because people were like, that doesn't make sense because a psychologist would be the one to make that decision on binge disorders, not a dietitian. Dietitians don't have control over the mental health related stuff like that. Well, actually, the surgeon does it. So now she's like, oh, well, this special psychologist actually made the decision because I'm working with 17 now, and also the surgeon's going to look at it. It's just like, you're so bad at this. You're so fucking bad at this.
I don't know if that's like part of my OCPD, but I just feel like I need it scheduled. And it's like, obviously, if I don't meet requirements and I don't do what they tell me to do, etc., then the surgery is going to be canceled. But it's like, if I do everything they tell me I'm going to do and what I'm supposed to do, and it's like, if I have a date for when my life is absolutely going to change, I can see myself being more successful. It doesn't make sense to you guys, I'm sure it's not going to make any sense.
This guy, it probably doesn't make sense to you guys. You're not special. You're not unique like me. You're not special like me. You guys, you probably don't know what it's. I'll explain it. It's called a goal. It's goal, a Goal. Okay, you guys might not have heard about it. I'll explain it to you. See, the goal is something that we strive to. Like, is she honestly talking down to her audience? Like, I get anyone who actually watches her and is probably a fan of her is potentially a bit dumb, but like, is she actually explaining what a goal is to people? Like, I know we got her explaining walking a couple episodes ago, but is she genuinely, without any shame, explaining to people what a goal is, like it is something unique only to her and how other people will not understand what having a goal is? This is Narnia. This is so fake.
It's fine, but just don't come for me. Don't judge me. It seems like more obtainable. It's like I could touch it, I could feel it, I could taste it. If like there's an actual date. I don't know how to explain it. It's weird.
It's so weird, guys. I'm so quirky. Like, I know you guys have not had a goal yet before, but I like goals. Christ, she is so... Oh, God. The smug Lynn, condescending Lynn thing is a bit much suddenly from her, like, trying desperately and really badly lying about the whole weight loss surgery thing. Still unable to even form a single coherent story. She's all over the place with it still. To her now condescending that, oh, you guys probably don't understand because my story's so unique, guys. I like to have goals. Christ, she's a bit too much here now. It's gone over the funny line and more like, you're just kind of like unlikable here.
The surgeon, because eventually I will be seeing the surgeon, and I'm excited for that appointment because it's like the surgeon is like the end all be all type thing. And you know, for a minute there I thought it was the psychologist was the end all be all, but it's not. There's so many.
A minute you thought the dietitian was. You've forgotten your own story again. Oh God, she is so bad at this. How can you be this bad at lying when you do it so frequently? How can you actually be this bad at lying when you do it so frequently? Oh, God. Fantastic. Like I said, this is just her. She has heard 100 people's stories and, like, contradictions to her obvious lies about this whole weight loss fairy tale she's talking about. And now she's just trying to mix every story and every excuse together into, like, just some amorphous blob. And she keeps forgetting details and she keeps messing up details. I'm not sure how much of this I'm even going to show because honestly, this whole thing, I might even just do a voiceover just to sum up parts of it instead of like pausing so much because, it got silly.
Given to me, and I've had some people tell me that I was a spoiled brat because I was upset. That to me was like, ma'am, spoiled brat who? No,
well,
I'm ready.
I'm probably just gonna, I don't know, I'm probably gonna summarize just everything that happened earlier because I kind of talked too long. We're 9 minutes into this and 23 minutes in, so I'm gonna summarize it. Pretty much, he gives a weight loss surgery update, and the weight loss surgery update is nonsense. It is absolute Narnia. So, like, she clearly realized that she messed up with all of her lies, and all these people came out contradicting her and arguing against her and stuff like that. So now she's taking like bits and pieces from like everyone's examples and like mixed them together. Because lots of people are saying, well, I think the psychologist is the final option, or well, I think the surgeon's the final option. So she's like decided, I think the you already got approved by a psychologist. Didn't you say that? So she's mixed it all together. So now she's saying that the dietitian has actually told her that the dietitian didn't disprove her, tell her she couldn't get the surgery. It was a super senior psychologist who doesn't work above the other psychologist but works above the dietitian. And that senior psychologist who only works with the dietitian denied Amber, but they're waiting for the surgeon to have a look who might overrule it because apparently he might have the final say. So, but Amber's not allowed to talk to the surgeon. It's the dietitian is talking to it, but then she kept messing up and referring to the psychologist as talking to the surgeon, and how she's like, oh well, I was really upset, guys, when the psychologist told me I couldn't do it, even though she said it was the dietitian he said she couldn't do it. Her story was all over the place. It was absolute fucking nonsense. She has this weird thing now where she's like, keeps rambling on about how she's upset and it's so much harder for her than anyone else because she has OCPD, and she honestly says OCPD about 17 times. She lists off that she also has OCD, so people can't come for her, and she's somehow struggling even worse because of her OCPD, because and it was genuinely the most condescending I've ever seen her. But her whole issue now is that she thinks she's more likely to fail because she hasn't been told the exact day her surgery is going to be in the year, because she says she wants them to plan it in advance by a year, and if she messes up, then they can just cancel it and replan it, which is just, that's extra work for them for apparently no reason. She's also really clinging on to this year thing, which, like I said, is just nonsense. Her coverage of the it being a year thing is like, well, everyone's story's different and I'm very unique. That is basically her coverage of why it is a full year for her, when like anyone else I've ever seen talking about it, it is like 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe very big maybe there. I've only seen like one person quote the 6 month thing. Most people work in like 3 to 4 months kind of time frame. Some are even earlier. Some are like weeks. So this absolute nonsense. So
quicker and faster. It's gonna save my life. Hold on, someone's calling me. Anyways,
I told you the phones.
And I will talk to you guys later. But I'm not a spoiled brat. I'm just ready to change my life. Okay, I'm back. I told you there's so many phone calls, guys. The phone's been going off the hook recently. It's suspicious. God, I can't wait for her to tell us that was actually the dietitian's doctor's dentist or something like that phoning her. Yeah. Off the phone. I just felt like I needed to finish my thought process. Yeah, I've had time to like think and like absorb and process, and obviously it was disheartening because like in my heart I was like, yeah, I got this. I'm totally.
Oh my Christ, we're back to this again. This has been like, I don't know how long she's been sitting here, like. It has been like 7 full minutes of just... I know! I'm trying to tell them. It's boring for me too. What are you leaving now? I'm not coming with you. I'm not coming with you. I have to finish this. That was a really big yawn. It's been like 7 minutes of just her just rambling about this weight loss thing. And just repeating herself constantly and just changing the story every single time she repeats it. So I don't know why she's repeating it this often, because she just changes the story every single time.
I've spent my whole life, like my first diet when I was 11 years old. Oh, God. I've spent my whole
I don't care.
Yo-yo dieting.
I don't care. Your weight loss surgery thing is the least interesting, but oh my Christ, it's all episode. Yeah, I have no idea how much I'm going to show off this episode. Like, it might just be like a general summation, because honestly, this is just repeating stuff, sympathy baiting, crying, trying to win people over because her video views have not done well recently, and her like to dislike ratio has been horrendous recently. This is the pity party after she messed up with her lies to try and explain away the lies and now sympathy bait you, and I'm not really into that. Like I always said, the weight loss surgery thing about Amberlynn and the weight loss thing in general is always the least interesting thing about her.
I don't need people to understand that, but I guess it's just like to be called a spoiled brat when it's like, that's not me. That is not who I am as a person at all. And to be told like you're throwing a tantrum, what? Yeah, I'm sad that like saving my life has been.
What are you talking about? And also even this whole like getting like throwing a tantrum about people saying that you're throwing a tantrum, not a good look. But I love her defense of like, it's because like I see loads of people doing this stuff where it's like, you're a spoiled brat. No, I'm not. That's not me. I am not a spoiled brat. Okay, we good here? It's like, no, like, no, you haven't described in any way how you're, like, don't see yourself as a spoiled brat. You're just like, no, I'm not. Oh, okay, cool. I think it was so obvious you're not. You would have like a quick example of like how you're not, but it's like, no, I am. I've got it. The cats are shouting as well. Everyone's shouting today.
Prolonged. And I know a lot of people are like, do it yourself then in this year. Yeah, I'm gonna do what they tell me, but I'm not gonna be able to actively save my life in this year until I get weight loss surgery. Just like I cannot hang this picture successfully until I have the nail that I need.
What are you talking about? Oh, she's off looking for the boys now. What are you talking about? This is just this video awful so far. Genuinely, one of the least enjoyable videos she's ever made. I don't think I've paused it this much to just sit there and be like, "Are we just doing this again?" It is super rambly. It is super boring. It is. There's nothing. She's not giving any new information. Nothing at all. There's no new information whatsoever. Like, apart from she has a vitamin D deficiency. Yeah.
But I do feel like, because a lot of people seem to be confused with my whole BED story, diagnosed situation.
Yes.
I do want to, in a different video, because I feel like I'm being so long.
Oh my
I was
god!
not expecting this.
Is she clickbaiting this?
It's like talk, so I'm sorry.
Oh,
but I think
no.
in a future video, I do want to explain the process of me being diagnosed and what was said and that whole situation, because I know.
Oh my god, is she seriously clickbaiting now? Is she back to clickbaiting this fake weight loss surgery shit again? Are we seriously back to doing this? Oh guys, well, in another video I explain how I got diagnosed with BED. Like, look, this doesn't make sense, okay? She claimed that she was misdiagnosed with BED, like binge eating disorder. She originally claimed that it 100% worked and 100% suitable because, you know, that's just her. She moves through excuses, and every new excuse is like, oh my god, guys, finally I've seen the light. Every single time. It's just her cycle. But now she said that the psychologist who saw her for this told her she does not have binge eating disorder. And that's where all the doubt suddenly came into her head. Oh my god, guys, I don't actually have it. But even though she was confirmed to not have binge eating disorder by the psychologist for this program has not allowed her to have the surgery for a year because she has binge eating disorder, even though it was their psychologist who said she does not have binge eating disorder, which makes literally no sense whatsoever. So, like, what's happening here? What is actually happening here? So now we have to do this nonsense where it's like she's going to tell us about getting binge. Look, you know what? I don't want to know. If I start watching the next video and it is about her getting diagnosed with binge eating disorder, I might just quickly sum it up in like 30 seconds at the start of my review after that. Because honestly, I'm sitting here looking and I've like recorded like 40 plus minutes of this, and I have no idea how much of it I'm going to use or want to use, because this video has been seriously the least enjoyable one of hers I've watched. She is repeating herself. She's just rambling about like nothing. She just repeatedly keeps letting everyone know that she is such a unique victim. She's so unique, guys. She's so special. She just said, "Oh, guys, I know other programs might allow you to have it when you have binge eating disorder, but not this program, because like obviously hers is like the only super unique program in the entire world that doesn't allow it when you have binge eating disorder." And it's like, okay, well, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just go to a different program if you want it soon? Well, I would do that, but the thing is, they're so great, they're so amazing, and this is like the only road bump. I was like, the only road bump is that you can't have it. That is the only road bump. That currently you cannot have it, but you're willing to not have it just because they're nice, instead of like going to like a different hospital to get it in a month. It's just, it's so fake. It is so fake. Everything she said in this video is so cringe and fake that it really just makes me feel even more vindicated that this weight loss surgery thing was never happening, because you can't keep a consistent story for 2 seconds. So I really don't know how much this I'm going to show. I am genuinely bored watching this.
And it's like, I need to make a whole video where it's like frequently asked questions, me just explaining things and timelines and situations and confusions, because it just seems like people are just like so confused about everything I talk about, and it's like, I don't know how, because I try my hardest to explain myself to the best of my ability without oversharing. And even so, like,
but okay, well, first you overshare constantly. This video is like the prime example. You can't keep a single story straight for this one video. You have changed your mind and your opinion a dozen times in this one video. It's like, I don't know how people can be confused across the 8 years of me doing YouTube with me constantly changing my story. I don't get how people don't see that it's a clear and obvious thing. You can't even stay one video. You can't even be consistent for one video. What are you talking about?
To do because it's 4 p.m. and I'm barely at 2,000 steps.
Wow.
So I need to do a little.
You guys, you're trying so hard. I'm glad 80% of this video was dedicated to, guys, I'm literally ready for weight loss surgery, and people are trying to act like I don't want weight loss surgery. Guys, I like totes want weight loss surgery. I'm like totes working towards it, even if it's a year away. I'm like totes working so hard for it, guys. But you can't even get like 4,000 steps a day. Okay.
Bit of this. Earlier I was reading while walking. I had my book and I was just like, do.
Oh, you're so quirky.
So, yeah. I also heard like.
Oh Christ! Please tell me you're going to talk about the book. Guys. Oh my God! Are you okay? Are you okay? Do you know I'm frustrated? Why you show me your belly? You a good girl? You sneeze at me. You a good girl. You're a goof. Guys, I honestly, like I said, I'm probably going to cut out the majority of the start of this video when we're talking about weight loss surgery and everything like that, because it is just boring. It's not fun. It's not even close to interesting. I'm sorry if this is what you clicked here for, but you should know how bad it is. When my reaction here was, oh God, I hope you're going to talk about a book again, because if she goes back to talking about all that shit, I'm done. I might just end the video here.
People aren't believing my steps, and someone actually said,
"Oh my God,
yeah, I work retail and I barely get 3,000 steps a day."
Like guys, people are like doubting my steps, but then like one person said they work retail and they don't get 3,000 steps a day, which proves I'm right.
10 minutes a day? Like, I don't get it, because if you're working retail, and are you like walking? Because if you're walking for 8 hours a day, you should be getting a lot more than 3,000. So either your Fitbit or whatever is counting your steps, it's inaccurate. Because when I just go to the physical grocery store, it's like 2,000 steps. Easy peasy. So I don't know.
Maybe you should go to the physical grocery store more then. Where did that story went? That story like took a total swerve I was not expecting. I thought she was going to use it as like, see, this one person agrees with me, so I'm right. But she went from like, people don't agree with my steps and how many I get. But then one person said they work retail and they don't get that many. And then like she criticized that person that they aren't right about their own steps, which is hilariously ironic for all of her bitching there. She's now criticizing that person's not correct about their own thing. I was not expecting that turn where she's like, no, you are wrong, random person who agreed with me.
They just want me to be lying. Like, I haven't lied about anything. And people are just out here.
I've never lied about anything. I've never lied about anything. It's just like, bro, have you never lied about anything? You're the saint. You're the saint of honesty. You're the most kind, generous, honest person who's ever. Like, if you ever like, okay, here's a spoiler for you guys. If you want to look for like a pathological liar, the one thing you look for is them saying that they have never lied about anything. That's the easiest way to tell a pathological liar, because that is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard. It's the most ridiculous shit you've ever heard. If you ever heard someone say, I never lied, like if you ever heard anyone ever say that they've never lied about anything, just know that they are lying, because that in itself is a lie, because every human ever has lied.
That's a lie. That's a lie. This whole video is a lie. Like,
yes, this whole video is a lie. This whole video is a lie. It is terrible. It's so bad that I'm likely not going to cover most of the middle bit, and I might just do a separate, like, after scenes recording just to sum it all up, because it is so bad and so full of lies.
Like, it makes my brain hurt. Like, physically, if like my brain hurts when people are like,
oh my God, it makes my brain hurt when people even would think I would. Imagine even thinking I would lie. Holy, this is really female boogie, actually. Jesus Christ.
This whole video is a lie. When every single last letter and syllable that I said in the video is 100% truth. This video is a whole...
Wait, you've said about 10 different things in this video about the same story, and not all of them can be true. So, yes, you're lying. You are lying, because you've said so many different things about this weight loss surgery thing now that, yes, that you are clearly lying about it then. Because it's like everything I say is true. It's like, it can't be all true all at the same time.
Blah. I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah. It's just exhausting. It's so exhausting. Anyways, I'm gonna go. And I will see you guys in my next
honestly,
video,
thank
my next
God.
vlog. I know this vlog was just me like talking a mile a minute. It's just sometimes I just need to express myself.
A mile a minute. No, it was you slowly, incoherently rambling about nonsense and tripping yourself up a dozen times. Like, the one thing this video will result in is Zachary Michael saying this shit ain't adding up. That is the one thing this will result in, because honestly, her worst video I've ever seen for her trying to be honest and be consistent and generally just coming across like an absolute smoke bitch.
People have beat it into my head that I can't do things on my own. No, I.
Oh my God. Oh, guys, I'm so bullied. I'm so unique, guys. I'm so bullied. People are so mean to me, guys. Guys, I'm so bullied. Everyone's so mean to me. Christ, this video, it's hit the bar of me just being happy to call it absolutely pathetic. Like, this is pathetic. It is pathetic. You are pitiable. I feel bad for myself for actually having to watch this. This is just bad.
Don't drive, by no means. But I don't need nobody. I can do everything on my own. That's why there's Ubers, okay? They're there to help people.
I don't need nobody. I can do things on my own. That's why I hire someone to do something for me. This girl never has once lied. She's never once lied.
Who don't drive. And that's okay. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see you guys in my next video.
God, you came across like an absolute fucking idiot. Imagine, like, rambling incoherently for 24 minutes about how you're, like, the best, most unique, special person in the entire world, then get upset people, like, say that you're, like, a big baby, and you're like, no, I can do lots of stuff by myself. I can even order an Uber to do stuff for me. It's like, cool. Yeah, genuinely, I hated that video. I more than likely expect that at some point in the middle of it, I will have just cut, and it will just be, like, a voiceover thing. But I want to thank my Patreons here. Frank, Eswank, Healy, Blake D, I'm just saying an absolute massive thanks so much for donating, subscribing, supporting, everything like that, guys. Thank you all once again for 1,000 subs. Unfortunately, this is not the video I wanted to be right afterwards, because it's just not. It's not fun. But yes, guys, thank you very much for watching. I do hope I'm able to edit this into something vaguely watchable. If not, who knows? But yeah, have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.